I saw in the paper that these uh, guys are gonna spend $600 billion or something on protecting our border with our neighbors from the south. I don't know if they've done this yet, but a lot of times what happens when they do these things, when they pass these bills, they they say they're going to spend $600 billion, or that's an outrageous amount of money of the taxpayers' money, and then what happens, I think, is you know the contractors will get $500 billion. Uh, these maybe somebody that's gonna Halliburton or somebody, and then they kind of just divvy up some of the money, and a lot of it goes into their pockets. The people that come up with the new plan, the new way to tax us, and I would think that a lot of people, a lot of times, whenever they say let's spend $1 trillion on something, we're going to spend $1 trillion of the taxpayers' money. I would hope that more than 50% of the people that live in the country would say no. We don't want to spend $1 trillion. We don't want you spending $600 billion on throwing money at our problem with our neighbors to the south. We don't. I personally don't have any problems with anybody coming up here. I think there's a real fear in the state of Mexicans. There's a real fear for some reason. They really are deathly afraid of Mexicans being in this country. I don't have any problem with them at all. But they even come up with stories about these people, about these nice people that are coming here, that probably just want a better life. And so they make stories to scare us a lot of times. Nobody's perfect. There probably are a few people that come here that have bad intentions, but I would think most of them are very good people, hardworking, uh, and probably very good neighbors. Um, like I said, the ones that I've met. But anyway, the ones that I've met are really decent. But anyway, they're definitely afraid. And remember, if they tell you stories about a race of people, it's probably just to scare you. There was a story not far from here that there was Mexican gangs over here in this town, and what's going to happen is they're going to increase the police force, and that's going to take taxpayer money to get more police. And police don't, they're not, they're not producing anything a good or a service. They're draining on taxpayer money. Uh, and what they're doing is taking out people that probably are working hard, and they want to scare people into thinking there's a Mexican gang. So anytime an old white lady is gonna be at the store and see a couple of Mexicans there, maybe getting food and maybe a 6 pack of beer with their buddy, maybe they're gonna go to their house and give some food to their kids. Um, the lady's gonna call the cops, if he's got his head shaved and maybe a blue bandana. Hey, he's one of them Mexican gang guys. He's over here getting beer, and they're gonna go, you know, um, rob somebody or something like that, and they're probably just getting food for their kids. Like I said, but it's to put that fear in there. And remember, these are the same people. They also, in order to get whites to steal this land that we are in now, they had to do the same thing with the Indians, the Native Americans. They had to say they're savages, they are these bad people, and they don't live like us, and they don't live right. And then people get a sickness in their head, and they start believing that sickness. So don't believe what you're being told is true. It might be by somebody that wants you to think a certain thing. But anyway, with these guys always raising our taxes and spending money on things we don't want to spend it on. Like when Bush's approval rating was like 23%, that meant 77% of the people were not approving, and that is exactly what taxation without representation is. And that's exactly what uh, is a good sign for us that it's something we're supporting, something that is not going to help us. It's not good for us, I don't think, to be having people there that are doing things we don't want them to do. That's taxation without representation.